Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Inappropriate Movie Database, the comedy game show about content warnings. I'm your host, Nick Martucci. I am thrilled that you're here right now, whether you're watching live or you found this sometime in the future where I have long since disappeared and you just stumbled across this video. First of all, help me if I'm missing. If I'm not, I'm just glad that you're watching my content. This is going to be a fun one tonight. We have a group of returning favorites. All of you were in like the first 20 episodes of the show, and we're almost at 120 now, which is too much. It's too many episodes of this, but we're going to keep it going, including starting, I want to say within the next week, I will be posting a list on the Facebook page with September dates and themes. So if you want to be a part of this show and you're not a member of the Facebook group, go there now, search Inappropriate Movie Database or click the link in the description of this video and look for that post. This month is almost over and I really need to get on that. And if you're not on Facebook, if you're smart with your decisions regarding social media, maybe you're on Instagram or Twitter. We're at IMDb Game. Check out one of those places. You can sign up there as well. Tonight on the show, we are doing first movies in series. So basically just any movie that has 2 or more sequels. Try to make it...
I
very...
I misunderstood the theme, Nick, and I told you, and you made a little joke, but I didn't get the joke. So now this list that I was going to cheat with is absolutely useless. Except for the Matrix. Okay. That's on both lists.
Well, this is a good starting point for that. Let's bring in tonight's guests. Joining me on the show tonight are Elsie Clark, Lloyd Legacy Sharp, Nikk Tetreault, and Marty Viscosi. Hey, everybody.
Hello.
And let's start first with the person whose night I think I ruined. Elsie Clark is back on the show.
Well, I should go first every time then.
I'm so happy you're back on the show.
Damn. Whatever. Makes one of us. No, I'm glad to be here. However, I don't see how you could have worded it so confusingly.
I honestly, what did you think?
All of us misunderstood.
Okay. First of all, what did you think I meant?
I thought you meant TV shows that spun off it, or no, movies that became series, like became TV shows. So look, I've got Buffy, I've got Karate Kid, I've got Psycho, I got Snowpiercer, and it seems that only Karate Kid fits the theme. And I don't even know what year that came. I got Clerks. Clerks fits the theme. Okay, I'm done giving out my secrets. But honestly, like, you need to be more clear about what a series means. This ruined my night.
I'm so sorry, but I think you've
I do love how super down to cheat you are. This is so great.
It's not cheating if I just made a list. It's cheating if you can look into my fucking pupils and see Google and hear me clackety clacking. That's
open
cheating.
book.
All right.
I totally say anybody can try to study for this show. Anybody can write down what they remember based on what category they think the topic is, and it may or may not help you later.
Crush at animation because they did so.
I would have been
homework.
doing that this whole time, Nick.
I mean,
do it every time, and sometimes it works.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want anybody going and like printing out a Wikipedia page or something. But if you just want to like pre-guess movies,
where's the line?
You're more than welcome to do that.
For me, it's like movies that I am aware of without, like, I wouldn't Google like list of Disney movies, but I would be like, okay, you've got 10 minutes to write down every Disney movie you can think of, and then you can Google what year they came out.
I mean, the reason that I allow that is basically you are the pioneer of that, and you're 4-10 on this game.
How dare you? Wait, does that mean I've won 4 times?
You have won 4 times.
That's hard. Whatever. Yeah,
I know.
Exactly. Hey, because I don't watch a lot of movies.
You've also, I've mentioned this in the past, you've also hosted maybe the best episode of this show.
The longest?
It is the longest. I think 2.5 hours.
It was a great episode.
Lloyd's watched it multiple times.
Oh man,
Yes.
Great.
I watched it and baked a whole ass cake and frosted it while that episode was happening.
Marty was giving me commentary as it was happening.
Yeah.
And now I know how long it takes to make a cake.
And cool and frost.
So I'm worried to ask this because we started off on the wrong foot. But is there a movie you really like that's the first movie of a series of movies?
We talked about this. Coming to America.
I mean, there is a
sequel.
I do specify it needs at least 2 sequels, but I'll give it to you. You're having
it needs 2 sequels.
All right. I don't know, Beethoven, maybe?
Oh, perfect. Well, Elsie, welcome back. Also returning to the show, if you watched the Monday night episode, you would have seen a real fun episode we did. And she was wonderful. I'm so happy she's back. Nikk Tetreault back on the show. Hey, Nick.
Hey, Nick.
And how are you feeling about this topic? I feel like I've also thrown you for a loop a little bit.
Oh, no, I'm chill. I feel like I know as much as I did, maybe, so it's got to be 1 + 2 at least.
Correct.
Yeah, I mean, that is what it is, right? That's
exactly.
That's the gravy.
Monday night already feels like a million years ago, and I cannot remember the topic that we did.
Not human.
That is right. We did movies where the main character isn't human. And you continue to do this. I don't want to give too much away, but is it fair to say that there might be a spin-off in the future for you?
Ooh! Yeah, we are thinking about a potential spin-off. The format yet to be determined, but it's me, the gist of it, me trying alternate titles for movies that I've heard of but can't remember the title, and somebody needs to see if they can figure out what the actual title is. Past examples include Beef Brothers, and that was, I believe, The Party.
It was called Neighbors.
Neighbors, great.
I mean, it's obviously canonically known as the Beef Brothers now.
Well, now it is. It's a much better title. Well, Nick, can you recommend a movie that you really like that started a series?
Okay, so not right now, but maybe come back.
That's totally okay. Welcome back.
Wait,
Elsie, I perfect. You did it.
I love Spider-Man.
Tobey Maguire, right?
I'm talking about Tom Holland.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that also works. Homecoming. Elsie, I saw you put your digital hand up briefly.
I did put my digital hand up, but I think you answered my question. So my question was, if there are 4 movies in a series, then the second one has 2 sequels. But it sounds like we're talking about just the first.
Just the first.
All right, great.
I wouldn't make it that confusing.
Okay, and then also, right, as you mentioned, Spider-Man, is there gonna be a lot of that shit? Because, for example, is the Michael Keaton Batman the one with all the sequels, or did a brand new first movie in a series just drop with the is each Batman
I mean,
first Batman?
To answer that specific one, for example, I would say Michael Keaton's Batman has 3 sequels, and then Batman Begins a new series that also has 2 sequels, and then I don't think that there's been a Batman series yet.
Okay.
I feel like the year would help with that, right?
It sure would.
Yeah.
Okay. You know what?
If only there was like a clue or a dynamic,
book fans,
like a part of this game.
Again, this game works better if you don't think too hard about the topic. You will get in your head. Also, returning to the show tonight, feel like it's been a little while. Marty Viscosi back on the show. Hey, Marty. Also, Kat.
Hello. Yeah, this is Ruthie. She's the worst. She's trying to eat my headphone cord.
Ruthie.
Yeah.
Well, Marty, I think.
Hello.
Hello.
It has been a while.
Yes, and you still are so cool that you keep watching the show too. I love seeing you pop up in the YouTube comments.
Well, shucks. I don't really have a lot going on right now outside working and sleeping, so it's been very nice to pop in and secondhand frustration for a little bit, but it's been fun.
Well, I feel like you've now had a lot of time to think about this. Is there a movie you'd recommend people check out that has some sequels?
I've been thinking about it, and here's the thing. I have seen a lot of bad horror movies, and a lot of bad firsts in bad horror movies. So I'm gonna go with a not horror movie, and say High School Musical. I think it's underrated. I think that it is a delightful movie. I think that the second sequel is very good. I would put it up there with Shrek 2 in the category of children's movie sequels that were better than the first. But High School Musical, everybody needs to give it a fair chance.
I have not seen any of them. I feel like I had just missed them.
They're so good.
And Marty left because of that.
My webcam is from Five Below, Nick. You know that. Sensitive. They're delightful. Classic quality DComs.
Well, fun. That's a fun choice. Thank you for coming back. Also returning to the show. Also feels like it's been a while, especially for somebody who's on the show as much as he is. I haven't seen his face. Lloyd, Legacy Sharp, back on the show. Hey, Lloyd.
Hello, Nick.
The contempt that you say hello to me each and every time.
This isn't contempt.
You're right.
This isn't contempt. This is a contempt. No, here's the thing. There's a lot going on in this general sphere that is my void at the moment. Here's how you know things are not quite right. First of all, as you pointed out, I haven't been here in a while, which is not normal for my standards. That's number one. It's been a long ass August. Number two, I don't do this very often, but I publicly came out this week as tired. I am exhausted. I am just worn out. I have hit that point. I hit that Tuesday. I hit that point where somebody up here sent the signal to somebody down here and said, "You need to stop." And I didn't, because I had commitments to keep. So I went one more day. I went yesterday. I went to Austin because I said I would. And I'm a man of my word, even though I'm not a smart man. And I came back. I came home. I said hi to my dad. Hi, Dad. How you doing? Glad you're alive. And then I just walked in here. I wasn't coherent. I was dehydrated. I'm not. For those of you who know how I usually look outside this, I'm not wearing any headgear. If nothing else is just a dead giveaway as to how much myself I have been feeling for the last 24 hours, I am showing head. the top one, in public space. I've not been on the show in forever. Red flag. I admitted that I was tired in public. Not that I would ever deny it, but I made it a point to admit it. Red flag. Headgear with no flag. Red flag. Not contempt towards Nikk. That's where this was going.
Well, as long as you like me, I'm fine. Lloyd, I'm so, like, I feel for you right now, and I almost want to be like, you don't have to be here.
No, I chose to be here because being here does not require me to be out there. I told myself I was going to take 2 days to go nowhere and do nothing and give myself a chance to prepare before, well, I'll talk about that in the promotion segment. But this fits in perfectly. I don't have to be anywhere except here. This is great. I got water right here, just replenishing. The MVP is here. I saw her in real life not too long ago, and she's still the greatest of all. And Nikk is doing freaking, she's on Comedy Sports, and I need to get to Rosendale to see her one day. Marty is not baking cakes. I feel like that's kind of off, but not as off me not wearing a bandana. So everything's as it is.
Listen. Ouch.
Lloyd, I'm so happy you're back on the show.
Thank you.
I wonder if you have an answer to the question after all that.
I have so many answers, but unfortunately I can only narrow it down to one. So, Superman.
Perfect. That's a good movie. So basically,
I'm still not
mostly
sure
superheroes.
I'm still not sure if we needed the second one to end the way it did, and I'm definitely not unsure that the third one even needed to happen, but it did, so Superman.
Oh, the third one, though, it's terrible, but it's so fun.
It's Superman 3 is the Batman and Robin of Superman movies. It is objectively shit. It's objectively terrible, but there's just a charm about it that makes it worth mentioning.
One of the examples of him being an asshole is straightening the Leaning Tower of Pisa, thus ruining the souvenirs.
Yeah.
What a beautiful movie.
With all due respect to one of my comedy favorites, I knew the series was going off track once they had to bring in Richard Pryor.
Oh yeah, Richard Pryor also in that movie, inspiring Office Space.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, thank you for coming.
Louder, but they brought in Pryor, so
thank you all for coming back to the show. You're all wonderful people, and I'm so happy you're here. You know how the game works. You've all played it before. If this is your first time watching, here's what's going to happen tonight. I have gone to IMDb, the Internet Movie Database, and I have pulled parental warnings for a bunch of movies that have at least a couple of sequels. I think that is the cleanest way I can say that. These parental warnings, as I say every time, I do not write them. I want to know who writes them. I came across a couple recently that are obviously the same people who have left comments on other ones, and you can find like thematic like groupings of what they warn you about. It's so interesting. Also, my brain is broken. I have over 1,000 movies on this list right now, and that is too many movies. There isn't that many on the show tonight, but that in general, I think I've permanently done damage to my brain reading what these people want to warn you about. But I'm going to read those warnings to my friends tonight. They're going to try to figure out what movie these warnings are from. I think it's time to get started. To do that, LC, I'm going to go to you first.
Yeah.
Would you like a movie from 1999, 2006, or 2012?
Well, 1999 is on my list, so let's do 1999.
Have you been in the process of redoing the list the whole time?
Yes.
Fun.
But again, I'm only cheating with this machine. All right. And then also looking up the year. But my move. I didn't look up like movies with multiple sequels.
There it is.
That would be cheating. But if I'm like, what are some movies with multiple sequels? I write them down. I Google the year. Not cheating because we have not started the game yet.
All right. Well, we are starting the game right now with this movie from 1999 for 5 points under the category of violence and gore. From 5 minutes, 14 seconds to 5 minutes, 22 seconds, a kid is picking his nose and then putting his finger in his mouth. Again, that warning is violence and gore for 8 seconds. A kid's picking his nose and eating it. Elsie has a guess. Does anybody else have a guess? Elsie, what do you think this movie is?
It's American Pie.
It is not American Pie.
God
That's okay.
damn it.
For 4 points under the category of profanity, 154 uses of fuck, many clearly spoken,
Wow.
and many others screamed out.
1999. I would say Woodstock, but that wasn't a movie.
Elsie has another guess. Anybody else? What do you think this time?
Like I know.
Like when you said like many are clearly,
Uh-huh.
so this is definitely My Big Fat Greek Wedding. Because I remember they would not stop saying fuck. And like I saw it with my parents. It was weird.
It's such a raunchy movie, but it is not Big Fat. What is My Big Fat Greek Wedding? For 3 points under frightening and intense scenes, the apology scene is pretty upsetting.
What is that under?
That is frightening and intense scenes. The apology scene is pretty upsetting.
I'm also upset when I have to apologize.
Was the idea of apologizing in the dark rebel times in 1999 that frightening? You had to put it under there.
All right, I'm going to go to Elsie again. What do you think this time?
Scary movie?
It is not Scary Movie.
Okay, this is preposterous.
For 2 points, under frightening and intense scenes, moderate to strong horror, and some jump scares throughout, involving the main characters being lost in the woods and presumably stalked. Marty has a guess. Anybody else have a guess? I see Lloyd, I see Nikk, and I see Elsie. Elsie, what do you think?
Blair Witch.
Nikk,
Project.
what do you think?
Halloween.
Lloyd, what do you think?
The Blair Witch Project.
Marty?
Blair Witch Project.
It is not Halloween. It is the Blair Witch Project.
Good work, everybody.
Way to go, team.
Love the teamwork on that one.
Final clue in that, under frightening and intense scenes, the faux documentary presentation enhances the unsettling atmosphere, even though there is little to no gore in this movie.
That is my favorite horror movie of all time, based solely on the fact that it was an independent film and still turned out as good as it did.
Is the apology
Apology
scene the
scene
one
is upsetting.
talking to the camera?
I think so.
Okay.
That is an upsetting
again,
apology scene.
Where she's
I'm with that
apologizing to the camera.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm so scared out here.
And with that, Lloyd and Marty tied in first place at 2 points. Tied in second place is Nikk and Elsie with -1. One of you worked a lot harder for that -1.
I have never been tied for first place this early in the show. This is a milestone. It goes down from here.
Well, Lloyd, let's see if you can continue that. Would you like a movie, Lloyd, from 1958, 1976, or 1983?
Oh, Lord. The good old 1983.
83. From 1983, for 5 points under violence and gore, some car crashes made for laughs.
Car crashes. Laughter.
And Fast and the Furious wasn't even out yet.
Uh-huh.
For 4 points under frightening and intense scenes, a woman dies in her sleep. Not very emotional. Marty has a guess. Does anybody else have a guess? Marty, what do you think this movie is?
I don't know if this is right, but is this Nightmare on Elm Street?
It is not Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh, that wouldn't be the 4-point clue if it was. Never mind.
A lot of people die in their sleep in that movie.
Yeah, but, you know, I don't know. I got excited.
Under sex and nudity, a woman is seen undressing to her underwear. Off camera, she takes off her bra and panties and jumps in a pool. Then a man undresses down to his underwear. Off camera, he takes off his underwear and he is seen diving into the pool from a distance. LC has a guess. Anybody else? LC, what do you think?
I can't believe I forgot. This is Fast Times at Ridgemont High 1.
It is not Fast Times at Ridgemont High 1.
2?
There are 2.
There's a brief TV series, I think.
I can't tell if you're joking.
I am not joking. That could have been on your list. For 2 points, under violence and gore, a family is held at gunpoint by a team of police.
The real life 2020?
Life? Yeah.
Nick, what do you think this movie is?
I thought this was escapism, Nick.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it could be one of 2 things. One of those things. Police Academy?
That is a
Or
good guess.
Hot Fuzz?
Can I tell you not to guess Hot Fuzz? It's also not Police Academy, but please don't guess Hot Fuzz.
What is there? Did something happen? Did something lewd happen in there? And
No. Hot Fuzz just came back.
Come out in 1983.
34 years later.
Okay.
But
Sweet.
No, this is not Police Academy.
Okay.
Final clue for 1 point under violence and gore. A man points a gun at 2 security guards at an amusement park.
Real life 2020?
All right, Nick, you're the only hand I see up.
This Naked Gun?
It is not Naked Gun.
Oh.
Although if you're going to pull a naked gun, do it at an amusement park.
All right. Well, this movie where a woman dies in her sleep, not emotional. A couple of naked people jump into a pool. People hold security guards up at an amusement park. This is National Lampoon's Vacation.
What?
Oh, and so
I haven't seen it. I feel less bad.
Is Christmas, Vegas, and
European?
Those are sequels.
Those are sequels. Also,
Okay.
Also, the new Vacation is also a sequel because the originals are in it.
Cool.
Yeah, everybody had fun with that round, and nobody dislikes me. Lloyd is now in the lead at 2 points. Marty,
I like you more than I
1.
like National Lampoon.
That's fair, and
a
honestly,
low
I'm
bar.
honored. It's still fair,
Dopey.
but I'm
I
honored.
don't like the people who wrote those really niche clues. I don't mind you, Nick.
Lloyd is at 2, Marty at 1, LC at -2, Nick at -3.
Moving up.
Marty, would you like a movie from 1975, 2008, or 2013?
No.
Okay, great.
2008, because I know a couple movies that came out that year. I'm gonna try and pull an LC.
I know something that happened in 2008.
Maybe we know the same thing that happened in 2008.
All right, from 2008 for 5 points. Under profanity, the main character, while narrating his dream, says bodacity. This sounds like badassity. I saw both hands go down.
Were you thinking Twilight?
What?
Were you thinking Twilight? Were you thinking Twilight?
No, I was thinking something else, but I am keeping that in my back pocket for later. You know what I mean?
All right, for 4 points under
Well,
profanity.
all right. You're welcome.
Also under profanity, minor name calling and insulting to the main character due to his fat.
Oh, Lord.
Nick has a guess. Anybody else?
Not yet, but it's
What do you think, Nick? Hold on, Marty. Marty, what do you think?
This is Paul Blart.
Nick, what do you think?
This Fat Albert?
It is not Paul Blart. It is also not Fat Albert. A movie I probably won't use on this show for certain reasons.
Yeah.
Oh no. Do I need to Google? Oh no.
Movie?
I've never been this disappointed that something
Nick,
isn't
you
Paul
not know.
Blart.
Oh, I think it's Fat Albert you won't use for certain reasons.
Yes.
If you know anything about Fat Albert, you know that
Thompson too.
For 3 points under sex and nudity, 2 rice bowls end up stuck to the front of the main character, unintentionally mimicking a bra or bikini top on him. LC
I'm
has
sorry,
a guess.
I just
Marty
Googled Fat Albert. I didn't realize. I'm so sorry, everyone.
That's totally okay. Marty, what do you think this movie is?
Kung Fu Panda.
LC, what do you think?
You know what? I gotta be honest and go with my original wrong guess, which is Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle.
You're right. It's the wrong guess. It is not Harold and Kumar. This movie is Kung Fu Panda.
Oh, man.
I've never seen it.
It's pretty good. It's fun. It's cute. As far as like DreamWorks series go, it's towards the top.
Like of
I'm
all like the
thinking of
animated
Blackjack.
children's movies I've seen for work, I've somehow missed the Kung Fu Panda series.
I'm working on making a blackjack game, like as a project, and I was like, how can I set this apart from every other blackjack game? And I was like, maybe I make it a Jack Black game. And now I'm thinking, I would need like his four most iconic characters. I've been thinking about it, but I didn't think about voice acting, and that I think gives more options. Anyway, that's neither here nor there.
Also in Kung Fu Panda, sex and nudity, the main character gets trained by fighting over dumplings, balls, a metaphor for masculinity, and violence and gore, martial arts fighting. I don't know how they got masculinity from dumplings.
Sounds like a dumb thing that a man writing a children's story would do.
Marty's now in the lead with 3, Lloyd at 2, LC at -3, Nick at -4. All right, Nick, time to turn it around. Would you like a movie from 1976, 1979, or 2012?
May I please have 2012?
You sure may.
What a jump. Good Lord.
All right, 2012 for 5 points under sex and nudity. Some sexual innuendos. For example, quote, "We were visiting some inbreds on my mother's side."
The fuck?
It was filmed in Seabrook, New Hampshire. Don't know the name of it.
For 4 points. LC, what do you think that movie is?
Oh, God.
Secret Life of Pets.
It is not The Secret Life of Pets, but that is a good guess. There's a lot of inbred pets.
Don't even get me started.
Uh-huh.
I won't.
If your pet is all white,
Too late.
A, it's deaf. And B, its family tree has one branch. And what did you spend for it again? No. Don't embarrass yourself. I can guess.
For 4 points. Under frightening and intense scenes, characters are almost thrown from a mountainside path and crushed by rocks. Nikk has a guess. Anybody else?
I do not have a guess at this time.
Nikk, what do you think this movie is?
How to Train Your Dragon.
It is not How to Train Your Dragon.
Thank you.
You're welcome. For 3 points, under violence and gore, a non-human character's belly is sliced open with a sword. He says something humorous, then his throat is sliced as the scene cuts.
That was a lot.
For 2 points, under sex and nudity, in the extended edition, there's a brief scene in which dwarves' naked backsides are seen from afar.
Oh,
Nikk has another guess. Anybody else?
Yes.
LC, what do you think this movie is?
The Hobbit?
Nikk, what do you think?
Romeo and Juliet.
I don't even know if there is an extended edition of Romeo and Juliet.
Should be.
Director's cut.
But yeah, I don't expect anybody to know the subtitle for this movie, so I will give it to you. It is The Hobbit: An Unexpected Journey.
I just really hope that Romeo and Juliet didn't start a series.
I love it when you
Hobbit was
repeat
3 parts.
clues and
That'll
the
look it up.
clues totally
I know.
negate the guess.
There were 3 questions going on right there, and I don't know who asked what.
Don't worry about what I said. It was pointless banter.
Okay.
Oh
Yes.
no, it's still series. When you Google Romeo and Juliet.
Oh, yeah. There is the sequel Sherlock Gnomes.
There is?
Uh-huh. Also,
Okay.
one thing I learned recently about Romeo and Juliet, it was an Elton John passion project. He worked for years to try to get that movie made.
Wow.
Good for him.
It's unfortunate.
All right. Well,
Also,
I'll make
yes,
sure.
there are 3 Hobbit movies for that one little book. Final clue in that, under alcohol, drugs, and smoking, many characters smoke pipes full of pipeweed. References is made to the calming effects of pipeweed. Tolkien was clear on the fact that pipeweed is tobacco, not cannabis, although the expression on a character's face after having a puff may contradict that.
Sign of the times. Pipeweed.
Marty's still in the lead at 3, Lloyd at 2, LC at -2, Nikk at -6. Going back to LC, would you like a movie from 1982, 2003, or 2007?
That choice sucks, Nick.
I'm so sorry.
What were they again?
82, 03, 07.
03.
03. From 2003 for 5 points, under frightening and intense scenes, the constant violence and the many deaths throughout may be difficult for some of yours.
Some of yours?
Some of yours. It may be difficult for some of yours.
You and yours.
Some of
All right, LC, what do you think?
Death throughout, you say.
Many deaths throughout.
Mini?
Many deaths throughout.
I can't tell if you're saying there are many deaths throughout.
M-I-N-I.
That's what I thought.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Then I give up, but in the spirit of
Okay.
already having raised
You
my
do
hand,
not have to guess.
I will guess Finding Nemo.
It is not Finding Nemo.
There are many deaths.
Right?
Upsetting for my what's.
For 4 points under violence and gore, a woman talks about her family having been butchered. Marty has a guess. Anybody else? What do you think, Marty?
Is this Saw?
It is not Saw.
For my what's. For some of yours. Upsetting.
Well, I feel like it means like your children, but
They didn't specify that.
Like in the sense of like you and yours.
Uh-huh.
I
For
would like
some
to
of your
believe that,
family
but they didn't
members.
specify that. And you know the kind of weirdos that exist on the internet.
For 3 points under sex and nudity, a woman wears a skin-tight leather suit that accentuates her figure throughout the movie. Marty has another guess. Anybody else? What do you think, Marty?
I feel like it's a Batman, but I don't know the Batman.
I mean, I guess I
feel like it's a Batman.
I'm gonna go ahead and knock out a bunch of movies and knock off a point. It is not a Batman.
God damn it! All right.
Is it for our sensibilities? Is it for our children? Is it for our trauma? What are what's? What's? Plural.
Elsie, I do have to read this next clue.
oh, okay.
Would for 2 points under violence and gore, a man thrashes and moans, and we watch his body change. His ribs crack and shift, and fangs grow while changing into a werewolf. Nick, what do you think?
You know, it's the one with the well, I'm sorry. Wait, yes, okay. Let's say it's Wolfman. It's Wolfman.
It is not Wolfman.
Okay, sweet.
Final clue under violence and gore for 1 point. Many werewolves are shot by a vampire as they lunge and chase her. Many werewolves are shot and fall to the ground as they charge, growling and snaring toward a vampire. Many werewolves are blown up by a grenade, and many werewolves are shot through a door. Just seeing Nick again. Guess it's just heard movies tonight. Nick, what do you think?
I feel like more people would have raised their hands, like, if this was the answer, but I'm just gonna, like, perhaps, could it be Van Helsing? That has to do with vampires, yeah?
It does have to do with vampires. It is not Van Helsing. This movie is the first Underworld.
That's
Kate
great.
Beckinsale.
But what were the what's? What of mine's is this movie upsetting? It wasn't specified, it wasn't made clear, and whoever wrote that needs to specify that, because now it's going to be in my mind all damn night and perhaps tomorrow. And it's Friday. I don't need that on a Friday. I'm supposed to be thinking God bless.
Underworld.
Underworld is Kate Beckinsale as a vampire fighting werewolves. I think Bill Nighy is some of it in some of the. I think there are like 4 or 5 of these movies.
It was like Twilight, but if they did it without the romance drama.
If Kate Beckinsale didn't date Orlando Bloom, which, by the way, also never seen any of the Lord of the Rings movies, I wouldn't know who Kate Beckinsale was. And I don't even know who Orlando Bloom is.
You know, from Elizabethtown.
That literally was going to say that. I literally was going to like he's in the movie about tennis with Paul Bettany.
Do you know what else?
I haven't
You know
seen
what else
that
we don't know?
What? What, Lloyd?
No, let Laura finish. Laura finish.
I think I'm finished. My point is, I don't know who any of these people are who were in their heyday when I was at my teenageriest. Like, Kate Beckinsale is someone who, like, I should know her favorite ice cream, but I don't know anything about her.
I think this is where she met Martin Sheen. Not Martin Sheen. What's his face? Michael Sheen.
Did they date?
They got married. They have a kid.
Oh.
Good for
Do you
them.
know what else we don't know? One of
He's dating
yours.
Sarah Silverman?
We upset.
Yeah, right. Before he dated Sarah Silverman, I think Sarah Silverman was like the rebound from Kate Beckinsale.
And are they still together though?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
What a rebound.
Wow, we talked a lot about things. Also, Josh Pick is embarrassed for some of you. The message went away real quickly. Lloyd, you're back in the lead with 2 points. Marty's at 1. Elsie's at -3. Nick is at -8.
Being embarrassed for someone else is like taking poison and waiting for the other person to be embarrassed.
I'd be embarrassed if my friends had poison.
Why?
Wait, you'd be embarrassed if your friend took poison?
I'd be embarrassed if my friends took poison.
That's firmly on them.
I know, but they're my friends, and it speaks ill on me if they're just poisoning it up. Anyway, let's get this game going. I think we're on to Lloyd. Would you like a movie from 2002, 2007, or 2013?
What I would like is to know what of yours this damn movie was upsetting. Do you see a twitch in my upper lip?
I don't think it's any of
you
our
do this
business.
When you get a Christmas card. Do you show up on the sender's doorstep
Writes
and be
back
like,
angrily.
Man, mine what? Man, mine what? They're not all gonna have a Merry Christmas. So get specific.
Yeah.
Is that what you do, Lloyd? Is that how you spend your December?
You know what? I am not in a position to argue with the MVP. So I'll just say 2002.
Perfect. All right, 2002. Hopefully we can get some points on the board. For 5 points under sex and nudity. No on-screen nudity is ever shown. There are very rare sex references, and a woman can be seen in her underwear. Not sexual.
Glad it wasn't sexual.
Nick, what do you think this movie is?
Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man.
That is a great guess. It is not Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man.
Thank you for your time.
For 4 points under alcohol, drugs, and smoking. In one scene, a man is seen buying cigarettes/drugs, and the woman who sells it says that he, quote, will die.
Me. I made my screen
Oh my
small,
God.
I can't find the react button. Me, it's my turn.
Pick the MVP, will you?
All right, Elsie, what do you think?
Wow.
This movie is The Ring.
This movie is The Ring.
Wow.
I'm so happy you did know it after all that.
That was so good. The enthusiasm.
Immediately, I saw that scene like exactly in my head, and I was like, "There's no way I know a movie that was made my senior year of high school."
I've seen that movie within the last year, and I don't remember that scene.
Oh man!
You feel the
All right,
enthusiasm.
okay. Wow. Sorry.
Awesome.
Josh Pick says he's embarrassed for you.
Oh,
Nick
for me.
You. Yeah,
Oh,
specifically.
I mean that is fair. Honestly, it's happy to just be felt about.
That was great.
Christ.
That was awesome.
That's really sad.
That was so good.
Also in the ring, under frightening and intense scenes, this movie has a race against time plot device where, if the characters fail, they will be killed by the fearsome antagonist. This idea can be distressing and disquieting for some viewers. Frightening and intense scenes, the ghastly, stringy-haired appearance of the antagonist, who walks in eerie, jerking movements, may frighten some viewers. Violence and gore, the movie is most known for its scary scenes where the video is played. The rumor in the movie is that after you watch the video, you die in 7 days. The video only lasts about 30 seconds. Lloyd is still in the lead at 2 points. LC and Marty tied at 1. Nikk at -9.
Anybody's game.
It really is. That was the halfway point, yeah. Somebody was asking recently on the show what I meant when I said we're flying through this game. I mean that we weren't halfway through the game at the 1 hour mark.
I have to say, to me, it seems like 100% of these games don't get halfway through until well past the 1 hour mark. Is that not normal?
I think on your game we got to the first movie at the 1 hour mark. Marty.
Okay, but here's the thing.
What is the correlation there?
Here's the thing. The episode that Laura hosted was arguably
bedtime.
The best show of that year. So that calendar period. So I
think that's still this year.
I know, but like the calendar period from the beginning of the show to when it started, like the seasonal era of it, like it was the best. So you take a little bit of extra length for extra entertainment.
I can't disagree with that. Marty, would you like a movie from 1977, 1992, or 2009?
Oh no. Like I'm very tired. I am like, oh, I'm beefing it a little bit.
Relatable content.
2000 nope, not yeah, 2009.
2009.
I was baby then.
All right, 2009 for 5 points. Under sex and nudity, a live band sings a song referencing oral sex.
How many rap songs came out in 2009?
I do have a guess.
Marty, what do you think?
I think this is The Hangover.
I think you're no longer beefing it. You just got 5 points.
Hell yeah!
Oh, nice.
I'm not proud, but I'm happy.
I mean, did I see the Dan Band live after that? Maybe, but they are in this movie.
Got 5 points on an oral sex question. That's what I call a comeback.
It's much more of a confront. Also in The Hangover, under sex and nudity, several explicit photos are shown. A man gets a lap dance from a stripper with large breasts, and he smacks her butt. She's wearing a G-string thong. 3 photos are showing a man is getting a blowjob by an old lady. His penis is briefly seen, although this is extremely easy to miss unless you pause it and look closely. Sex and nudity, a man makes a brief reference comparing gambling to masturbating on a plane on whether they're illegal. Violence and gore, a character is depicted to use a knife on their hand because of their concept of a wolf pack, but the movie is very funny. And violence and gore, Ed Helms acts as Stu, who wakes up inquiring where his tooth went. Marty has just shot to the lead at 6 points. Lloyd at 2.
Raven.
LC at 1. Nick at -9. Nick, would you like a movie from 2001, 2008, or 2012?
Ooh! I choose 2008. Marty, you and me, we're gonna get this one. We're gonna get it.
Never told me what the one you were thinking of was. You have all the information.
I'm so sorry.
I thought we were buddies.
All right, let's see if this helps or hurts anybody. From 2008 for 5 points under sex and nudity. A man and a woman are shown rolling around in bed, passionately kissing. Shows the woman on top in nothing but her underwear. They end up rolling off the bed. Scene cuts to the woman waking up in the man's bed, seemingly nude, but covered with a sheet. All right, nobody's got this. For 4 points.
Hang on.
Okay. What do you think, Nick?
Is this Iron Man?
Nick, this is Iron Man.
Yeah!
Right in at the wire.
Nice.
Thanks, everyone.
Wow, this game goes a lot faster when you guys start getting it at 5-point clues.
Who has control over that, I wonder?
I don't know. Watch more movies.
Yeah, Nick. Who has the 1,000 movie document, Nick?
Also in Iron Man, under alcohol, drugs, and smoking, many people drink at a party. 2 men drink sake and appear drunk later. Man drinks alcohol. 3 flight attendants hold glasses of champagne while dancing. And a man drinks alcohol while riding in a military vehicle. Man puffs on a cigar. No smoke is evident. And a man smokes a pipe. Frightening and intense scenes, a man uses a device on another man that creates sonic sound waves that destroy your eardrums and cause short-term paralysis. His left side of his face starts to turn red. Couple seconds later, it is a full blood red, and his veins in his head are blue, and the veins appear to be bulging out. This unexpectedly happens to another character later on. Violence and gore, many intense action sequences, a shooting sequence, a fight scene with shooting and fire, the hero flying around punching hard, the hero blasting, an intense dogfight, and a fist fight with the primary antagonist. Frightening and intense scenes, the opening shootout sequence is very intense, as well as when Stark wakes up surrounded by terrorists at gunpoint. Marty's still at 6, Lloyd at 2, LC at 1, Nick at -4 now.
Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo.
And that means we're going into the last go-around. 4 movies remain, 1 more for each of you. That still means there's 20 points on the board. That's more than the combined total right now. We can do this. LC, would you like a
Doing our
movie?
best, Nick.
I appreciate you all for doing this. LC, would you like a movie from 1931, 1978, or 1998?
Hitting me with the option. You said okay. The normal ones were 1998 and what?
The normal ones? 31, 78, 98.
Yeah, I mean, if I knew. Damn, it's very embarrassing because it should be really obvious, like, which one was 31. But, and then, I mean, 78, I guess. Okay, you know what? 78.
78. From 1978 for 5 points. You're all going to hate this under frightening and intense scenes. The movie is rather ridiculous.
That's a
Get
clue.
2 hands up under frightening and intense scenes.
That's a clue.
There is. Nick, what do you think this movie is?
Batman.
LC, what do you think?
I'm going to guess Police Academy.
It is not Batman. It is not Police Academy.
Son of a bee.
For 4 points under profanity, the first half of the film has a surprising amount of profanity, though it's all pretty much mild in nature. About 30 swears throughout the whole movie.
30 swears. Kind of goofy.
Break it down piece by piece.
All right, Nick, what do you think?
Naked Gun.
It is still not Naked Gun. For 3 points under violence and gore, very little. What violence that there is very comical matter.
Comical violence. Ooh.
All right, we're just going back and forth, Nick. What do you think?
The Three Stooges, like uncut.
I'll see. What do you think?
That sounds good. 1978, so I'm gonna go with Animal House 1.
Also a movie that got a TV series. Not Animal House, not Three Stooges Uncut. For 2 points under violence and gore, a man shoots and kills several people on accident while trying to kill a specific person.
Who the hell uncut the Three Stooges?
LC, what do you think?
Well, fuck it.
Okay.
Indiana Jones.
It is not Indiana Jones. Yeah, you picked the wrong year is all I can say. For 1 point under violence and gore, several people are comically eaten off screen by tomatoes.
But what?
Off screen by tomatoes?
By tomatoes?
No.
What? What?
All right, LC, what do you think?
Attack of the Killer Tomatoes?
That is the only movie in which tomatoes eat people aside from the 3 sequels. This is Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. A movie that Matt Shore very famously on the show guessed VeggieTales.
Oh.
That's a real movie.
It's a real movie with 3 sequels and an animated Sunday morning cartoon.
I'm gonna go get some water.
Well, you picked the worst time to do that.
Can I just show you this whole list of movies that I've made just since you explained the sequel, the premise to me, and you have named none of them.
I'm so sorry.
It's not your fault, honestly, but I hate to admit that, but still, it's just wild how many movies there are.
There are so many movies.
There's so many.
Lloyd, would you like a movie from 1979, 1989, or 2006?
(2006).
2006.
Okay.
From 2006 for 5 points under frightening and intense scenes. Odd colored scenes throughout, showing a very frightening car crash, a beating to the head, lots of blood throughout the film. See 2 hands up. Anybody else? Nick, what do you think?
X-Men.
LC, what do you think?
Sin City.
What was that?
I think it's Sin City with Elijah Wood.
It is not X-Men. It is not Sin City.
Yes, it is.
With Elijah
because
Wood.
the scenes are weirdly colored and there is a car crash and Elijah Wood dies and it's very creepy. And I swear to God, I saw it in 2006. So I don't really see how your argument holds up.
It's only got one sequel. For 4 points under frightening and intense scenes, a man suffers from claustrophobia, and we see him sweating and being anxious in several scenes. Elsie, what do you think?
Now is this Saw?
Nikk, did you have a guess or no?
Oh yeah, no, I had a guess. Sometimes I accidentally leave the hand up too long.
What do you think?
I think James Bond. You know, Bond. James.
James Bond.
It is not James Bond. It is not Saw.
Crazy.
I know. For 3 points under sex and nudity, we see a fully nude man in several scenes, and his bare buttocks, legs, feet, back, chest, and abdomen to the hip are visible. This is not sexual, but for religious purposes. Brief nudity.
Nudity for religious purposes. That has never ended badly.
Yeah, no.
Just the two of you again, Elsie. What do you think?
Silent Hill.
What was that?
Silent Hill, the video
Silent
game
Hill.
movie.
Nick, what do you think?
Through the Sea, the Moses story.
I have to take your word for it that that's a real movie. It's not that. It is also not Silent Hill. For 2 points under profanity, to any Catholic, this film will seem disrespectful to their beliefs. Beyond the crime plot, the most fundamental elements of the faith are depicted in a profane manner.
This after nudity not being sexual. Catholics will be offended. Not looking great.
Elsie, what do you think?
Spotlight.
Marty, what do you think?
If I'm right, I have a story for after we're not on YouTube Live, but Da Vinci Code.
I'm so happy you're right because I want to hear the story. This is the Da Vinci Code. So
I was
happy
in
to
Catholic school in
report.
2006. Everybody was mad.
I'm also very happy to report, as of right now, there are no sequels to Spotlight.
I mean, because they cover it up.
2 movies remain. Marty, you are at 8. Lloyd at 2. Elsie at -5. Nick at -10.
Oof.
And I'm doing my best.
Marty, would you like a movie from 1958, 1976, or 2012?
There's I keep hearing other people get years that I want, and 2012.
2012. Just trying to avoid the older movies as much as possible.
I am.
2012 for 5 points. Under profanity, 5 mild obscenities, name calling like punk and lover boy, 2 religious exclamations.
Punk and lover boy.
Punk.
All right, Nick, what do you think?
I think that this is the Hunger Games.
I think you are getting another 5 points. This is the Hunger Games.
What?
God damn it.
Wow.
Oh my god.
Wow. Thank you, everybody.
Also in the Hunger Games, under alcohol, drugs, and smoking, one character is constantly drinking when he's on screen, and we see him staggering drunk the first time we meet him. He empties his flask into his morning coffee. Alcohol, drugs, and smoking, the poison wasps cause the victims to have drug-like hallucinations. Frightening and intense scenes, a beating is partially glimpsed on a television, which is supposed to show the depiction of the event's free-for-all methods of violence. Violence and gore. The start of the event is brutal. Teenagers kill each other in various ways, stabbing, neck slitting, throwing knives, and so on, with some blood splatters and sprays visible.
You know what movie I've never seen more than 10 minutes of? The
Hunger
Hunger
Games?
Games.
Hunger Games.
Wow.
The second one is really good.
Mockingbird.
No, Catching Fire.
Sweet.
Remember how all the problems go away because Juliette Moore takes over? Remember how that ends? Donald Sutherland is like this grotesque caricature of evil, and so all you have to do is get rid of Donald Sutherland and everyone in the fucking Pan-Them can be happy again. Thank God that they got Julianne Moore in there.
Have we tried that in real life? Just getting rid of Donald Sutherland.
The actual ending in real life?
Let's get rid of Donald Sutherland and see if it makes our lives better.
I was being metaphorical.
I think he's the problem.
No! Donald Sutherland never hurt anyone. He was in Animal House.
Nick, will you get taken off of YouTube if I say on your YouTube video that I think we should start killing millionaires?
I don't think so.
You should not judge
I think we should start killing millionaires.
But someone would have to
wholesome
report
movies they've been in.
I think we can start with billionaires and work our way down.
I think we can start at like the millionaire level and just like work our way up because I feel like they have more security.
I feel like so many people that like don't even have money are technically worth $1 million. Not to like defend them, it's just you're not doing anything. 15% of America has $1 million, and 14% of those people are powerless. So, anyway, though.
Anyway,
why are you talking about killing anyone?
One movie remains. The game's all about wrapped up, but we're going to play it anyway. Marty's at 8. Lloyd is at 2. Lloyd got his 2 points and then stopped playing the game. Elsie's at -5. Nick is at -5.
Okay, so it's really between me and Nick.
We are not in the negatives.
Nick, you do get to pick this movie. Would you like a movie from 1979, 2007, or 2013?
I feel like I'm in a situation. Because I feel like I can think of something that happened in 2008. Am I right, Marty? But 2007, I'm like, what happened there? And then 2013, I was, senior in high school. What was brewing then?
We have a situation. I'll go get Mike.
2013, I guess.
All right. Final movie of the night from 2013. For 5 points under the category of sex and nudity. A comment about, quote, christening the house they just moved into. And the next day, upon seeing herself bruised on the leg, she asks her husband, what did he do to her last night? Nothing seen, only innuendo.
Oh my.
There are 2 hands up. There are 3 hands up. Nick, what do you think?
50 Shades of Grey.
LC, what do you think?
Beef Brothers. Neighbors.
Marty, what do you think?
What is it called? Conjuring.
It is not the Beef Brothers or Neighbors. This movie is The Conjuring.
Ooh!
Hey.
Good work! I hear that one's like really like super fucking scary. That's the one with Vera Farmiga?
Yeah, I think so. I've only seen the second one and I've seen Annabelle, and both of those are trash. So I'm afraid to see this one.
I have only seen the first one and I have like so much anger. Like, listen, Elsie talked about dog inbreeding. I'm gonna talk about the Warrens for a second. They're terrible people and I hate them so much from like an ethics standpoint, and like I just think they're absolutely awful. So I refuse to give any money to like any movies that have like the Warrens as main characters in them. That said, someone else paid for my ticket when this one came out, so it didn't count. But yeah, I hate the Warrens. They're terrible people. Everybody should Google more about them and stop giving them money, because their state is still making money off of these whack ass movies that exploit the families that were involved.
Wait, which Warrens? Warrens who? Which Warrens?
The Warrens were in the Conjuring movies. They're like paranormal, like investigate, like da, but like they've been proven to be fakes like 1,000,005 times over, and they exploit families super hard, and they just like make crazy amounts of money off of making these families' lives so much worse. And like 98% of the time, they like there's an actual underlying cause to like, hey, maybe one family is dealing with spooky, scary mental illness, or hey, maybe you need to look for asbestos in your ceiling or something like that. And it's just like, I'm so angry about it. I'm so angry about it. This is my inbred dogs. Like, do not like stop giving the Warrens money to make movies.
Right?
I hate
Fuck
it.
the Warrens.
But I'll take the points. Fuck it.
I can get behind that. And also you were so far in the lead and didn't need these points. But yeah, fuck the Warrens. Also in the Warren movie, under violence and gore, a woman bites a police officer. A lot of blood is briefly shown. Profanity, multiple references to the devil. They pray to Jesus for help many times. Under profanity. Under frightening and intense scenes, the doll may be intense for some viewers. Frightening and intense scenes, a woman possessed by a demon tries to kill people. This may be too intense for some viewers, though no one is killed. That was The Conjuring. This was Inappropriate Movie Database. Our final scores tonight. We have a tie in third place. Nick and LC both at -6 points. Lloyd got his 2 points and fucked off. But our winner tonight at 13 points is Marty.
Woo! Yeah, Marty!
Well done. Sorry that too many of these movies were too hard. I've used like 900 movies in this show. Some of them are going to be harder than others.
Okay, but here are some movies you could have used in this one. Austin Powers, 1997. The Matrix, 1999. Batman, Michael Keaton version, 1989. Batman, Christian Bale version, 2005. Rocky, 1976. You kept saying 1976. Is that what it was?
It sure was.
God damn it. Why didn't you give me 1976?
Oh, wait, no. There were two 1976s. The Omen was also there.
But why wasn't Rocky there, Nick?
Rocky was there.
What was 1931?
Impossible. 1996.
1931 was Dracula.
Oh.
And then
was Rocky a choice that you gave that somebody got wrong?
There are like 4 sequels to that first Dracula.
All with Bram Stoker? Yeah. Wait, that's the author. Who was the actor?
Bela Lugosi.
Bela Lugosi.
Including, I mean, what's it called? Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein. Bela Lugosi plays Dracula in that movie.
Wow, I bet 1930s Hollywood was a real...
Lon Chaney Jr. reprising, like, there's parts of that movie that are canon to Universal horror.
Okay, but did I miss the part where you made Rocky a choice and we just didn't guess it?
Yeah, 1976 was Rocky. Also,
so you picked Rocky as one of the movies from 1976. We just guessed it wrong.
No one asked for 1976.
Nobody picked 1976.
Oh.
Also, we went with the Da Vinci Code instead of going with 1989's Batman.
Oh. Okay, now it makes sense.
So let's wrap this up before we get out of here. I never do this. Some of the other movies we missed, the first The Fly, we didn't do Stepford Wives, didn't do Star Trek, didn't do Creep Show. Probably good you avoided 2007. That was Wreck. Smokey and the Bandit, Candyman, Spy Kids, Blade,
I
Amityville
thought 92 was
Horror.
going to be Candyman.
I love Spy Kids.
What about Big Hero 1?
Before we go, if there's anything you want to promote, anywhere you want to be found, any last words? Nikk, I'm going to start with you.
Thank you so much, Nick. My shows, I'm performing at Comedy Sports Boston in Roslindale on 2 Saturdays in September. Those specific Saturdays, great question. But go anyway. Everybody there is very funny stuff.
Hell yeah. Lloyd, you got anything?
I'm going to make a quick note
Uh-huh.
that we also didn't use Space Jam because we can't. There's only 2 movies, and that's enough. That being said,
again, real quick, it's weird that the sequel to Space Jam features the nuns from the X-rated The Devils movie from the 70s, but doesn't feature the song Space Jam from Space Jam.
yeah.
Sorry
It's,
to interrupt that, but you just reminded me of that bullshit.
You're right. Just more proof that 1 Space Jam was pushing it and 2 was too many. Anyway, I can be found this Saturday in Worcester, Massachusetts on Latasha Hughes' show alongside Miss Laddie Boston. And that's going to be at the Beth in Worcester. Go to the Legacy Tour update page on Facebook to find out more about that and anything else, because I've taken up enough time talking about nonsense. You can find me at Lloyd Legacy 617 on Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram. If you're on any of those, if you're not, don't start now. It's too late. It's only going to get worse. I can be found on Lloyd Legacy Sharp on Facebook. If you're there, if you're not, don't. And let's take it over to somebody else who's talking less than me, which is everything.
LC, anything you want to add?
No, let's see. I'm looking for developer work. I just graduated from the software engineering immersive at General Assembly. Right now, though, I'm mostly looking for people who want to help me put my portfolio together. So if you're watching this and you're a developer with MERNstack or Django knowledge, or just like a pretty good idea of the industry out there, I'm Laura McNamara on Facebook, and I'm really easy to talk to.
Fuck yeah. I will give Elsie a job.
That's honestly, that is the long and short of it, because I am looking for developer work, but in the short term, I am looking for a job. So if you would like to work with me, there's a few things I'm not well suited for, but there's a lot of things where I'm like a very good coworker to have. I'm very reasonable, and only in a few areas does my ego get in the way of anything. And typically that's not going to happen in a day job setting. And I'm nice. I want us all to get our work done. But like, I'm not obsessive about it. And you could I'm not there for the drama, but if you want to vent to me about the drama, I'm down for that as well. I'm just like a very easy coworker to have. And the longer I work, the more it's like, isn't that really like way more important than the things that you will train me to do anyway? Summation, great coworker. I don't always talk this much, but it's always an option.
I wish I had a job to give you. You're hired.
You.
This is why she's the MVP.
Finally, our winner, Marty. Is there anything you want to tell people?
I don't do comedy or anything, but I'm in Minneapolis. You can just find me here.
Cool.
I live 6 houses down from a Mexican ice cream place. If anybody wants to be friends, we can get ice cream together and it'll be super cool. Tyler Derniak will be in Minneapolis at the end of September. I don't know if he knows how intensely aware of that I am, but he'll be here. And you could be too. Come to Minneapolis. It's sometimes okay. I also bake things on the internet on
Yes!
Instagram at madeby.marty. Yeah, and every single time that I'm on the show, I say that I'm going to start posting more, and then I don't. But we'll see.
Hell yeah. And I hope, Tyler Derniak, if you're watching, I hope you do comedy somewhere near Marty. They are.
I will go. I'll go in a heartbeat.
Well, thank you so much, all of you, for doing this. Once again, Elsie Clark, Lloyd Legacy Sharp, Marty Viscosi, Nikk Tetreault. I'm Nick Martucci. You can follow me on all social media at Blundering Idiom. Follow the show on Facebook, search Inappropriate Movie Database, or click the link in the description of this video. Twitter and Instagram at IMDb Game. We do this show 2 times a week, Monday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern, Thursday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern, right here on the channel you're watching, so that's convenient. If you want to be a part of the show, I would love to have you on the show. I love having new guests on this show. Like I said, I'm going to start booking for September. God damn, September, starting within the next week. So keep an eye out on all of those areas. And in the meantime, like this video, subscribe to the channel, watch one of the other 120 episodes of the show we've done. Some of them are
You
pretty
make sure you
good.
watch the one that Laura Clark hosted. It was great.
Absolutely. Watch the one LC hosted. Watch the, is it 2 or 3 you've hosted, Marty? I think 2, right? One?
Just one. I'm always down to host again. If you want somebody to do something gay or something spooky, that is my wheelhouse. I know who I am, and I'm very proud of it.
We're gonna have to talk offline. You're gonna have to host the show again at some point. Thank you all